Hello, welcome back to the channel. Back with the camera, back with the tiny mic, as everyone always likes to joke about. And we're here in Buffalo, New York. Still working on my background here. Got to get a bit better. Might try to make it in the corner here, get a little shelf. I don't know. We're working on it. Hopefully, we can up the levels here. You know, you're up my subscribers. I'll up the levels. We're at 950, I think. So yeah, I think it's actually 953. But we're doing great. Really appreciate the support, and we'll hop right into this college football recap. We can start with, I guess, Miami kicked the living daylights out of Bethune-Cookman. Navy and Memphis got into a dogfight on Thursday. Friday night, Virginia came up to a quick 14-0 run and ended up getting scored 42 consecutive on them after that, losing 42-14. Army upset UTSA. Air Force defeated Utah State, so the Service Academies went 2-0. Hopefully everyone tailed the troops out there. As for the other big games, Georgia, South Carolina, well, it was 14-3 South Carolina at halftime. Ended up being 24-14, so good for Georgia and sticking on that one. We had Florida State survive against Boston College. They went up like 31-10 or something, and then 19 unanswered from Boston College, and they almost won. They went for two early. It's hard to chase points early. You want to do it when you're an underdog like that, but it never ends well. Texas was tied 10-10 in the fourth quarter, ended up winning 31-10 over Wyoming. Western Kentucky got smoked by Ohio State 63-10, who actually Ohio State did look really good. Kyle McCord looked unbelievable. I'll give him that. 318 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead, I think, all Big Ten quarterbacks at least. Penn State ended up beating Illinois 30-13 in one of the sloppiest games in a long time. Penn State just kind of did their thing against Illinois' crazy defense. Newton on the defensive line was absolutely, I mean, he had like a generational type performance. I don't want to use the word generational for a game, but it was like JTT against Penn State last year sort of thing. And Aller did his thing, but Luke Altmaier, 4 picks. It's tough. It's over. The game that I thought was going to be one of the easiest games of the week, Washington dominated Michigan State. Michael Penix, 473 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's kind of what we all thought was going to happen. Central Michigan 17, Notre Dame 41. Very crazy game here. Alabama was tied 3-3 at the half and was losing for a majority of the first half, 17-3 in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, the one with the pirate ship. Crazy scenes that Alabama was that bad. Utah beat Weber State. I think it's Weber State. Oregon ended up beating Hawaii 55-10. LSU, crazy good win, 14-41 against Mississippi State. Malik Neighbors, 13 catches, 239 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Is he the next crazy good LSU receiver? I know they got Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Could he be the third guy after them? Who knows? Missouri with a crazy 61-yard walk-off field goal from big boy kicker to beat Kansas State at home. Oregon State took care of business against San Diego State. Ole Miss without Quinshon Judkins, no problem, got through and beat Georgia Tech at home 48-23. Oklahoma beat Tulsa 66-17. Notre Dame beat Minnesota 31-13. Duke beat Northwestern 38-14. Washington State 64-21. UCLA 59-7. Dante Moore went awesome, sweet. 41-10. Iowa, they hit the over there, finally hit the over on their points total. But other than that, not many games that really went on. UNLV beat Vanderbilt, so that's kind of an upset for Michigan ones. And then I guess another one of note would be South Alabama 33, Oklahoma State at home 7. And then the game that everyone talked about was the game with Deion, with Colorado, all that stuff. 35-43, Colorado wins in double overtime. Colorado scored, I think, 11 points there at the end. They had a field goal and then a touchdown, 2-point conversion. So unbelievable scenes there from Colorado coming back. They're doing their best to make me hate this team, the media, but I don't care. I still love them. Deion's awesome. And this is a tweet that Ant Wright put out the other day. My guy Ant. Think about it. Last year, these teams had 3 wins combined, 4 wins combined max. We had people across the country staying up till 2, 3 in the morning watching this game and caring. Game day was at a game with these no wins. I mean, I'm trying to think of an example. What would even be a comparable example? I mean, who's bad, really bad? Like if Northwestern and DePaul got good, and someone crazy went to Northwestern, and that game was awesome. I don't even know if DePaul has a football team, but you know what I mean. So Good on Colorado. Shador and all those guys went crazy. Travis Hunter out with an injury, so that sucks. They did fall a bit in my rankings, but again, it is what it is. And the general takeaway from this week, this is just always what I like to do when in these weeks where it's a bad slate. Again, I always tell you it's not a bad slate, but I know what you mean. Bad games. You want to survive in advance, okay? It's just a win is a win is a win is a win. Michigan played very poorly, right? We'll do the quick Michigan recap right now. 31-6. Wait, they played bad? A 25-point win at home out of conference? I know it's Bowling Green, by all means, not good. But, they did their thing. J.J. McCarthy, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Not great. But Blake Corum, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Back. Okay. So, the special teams were a nightmare. We'll work on that, no problem. I know they fumbled like a kickoff or two. They fumbled 2 kickoffs, lost 1. Field goals. 2 field goals right away off those 2 quick short fields. It is what it is. The secondary was getting burnt. Why was the secondary getting burnt? Well, everyone's injured in the secondary, really. I know Will Johnson's out, Rod Moore's out, etc. Right? So it's kind of a win-win there. I am assuming they'll be back for the better games like Rutgers coming up this week. But again, survive and advance. Alabama was losing at home to USF. Georgia was losing at home to South Carolina. Florida State, I think, was losing at a point. Yeah, they were losing on the road. Texas was tied at home against Wyoming, right? But they all won. Everyone won, right? So the team that didn't win, that I do care about a little bit, would be the Tennessee Volunteers. Was it Vols? I think it's this way, right? Go Vols. You scored the first touchdown. It looked good. Florida block kick. They ran the ball down your throat. I mean, Milton was able to throw it, but he couldn't get in the plays when he needed to. He's just not that. He's just not that guy, right? This was a more of a offensive coordinator guy from last year. I always forget the guy's name. The dude over at USF, and most importantly, Hendon Hooker. This is the Hendon Hooker appreciation game. I think I've been saying it for a while, but I know that we've been talking about that. It's going to be a Hendon Hooker appreciation season for Tennessee this year. By no means is Josh Heupel bad. Is the season over? Probably. I'm saying probably only because, right, Georgia didn't look the best. And if you can figure everything out by then at home, you can maybe catch them off guard. It'll be tough to catch them off guard because obviously they're going to be up for that game. Clearly, it's like the best game that they have on their schedule, but it is what it is, right? So when you look at this, it's like, okay, do you put in Nico? Maybe. Maybe you sprinkle him in a bit more than you have been, I guess. I don't even know. But I just think that, the problem was ETN, 172 yards on the ground, right? Averaging 7 yards a carry. It just, the special teams are good though, right? You had a blocked kick and a blocked punt, right? So it's just the little things. But the problem is, in this 4-team playoff, the margins are razor thin, right? Tennessee, realistically, based on history, has to win out, or they won't be in the playoff because there's never been a 2-loss team in the playoff. And you have to win your side of the SEC at least to get through. If you were to lose to Bama, that's a totally different loss because A, it's Bama, and B, it's the other side of the conference. This is against one of your heated rivals. Their worst year in a long time. It was last year and not so hot this year, allegedly. I say allegedly because it's lost one game. But they beat you. And Billy Napier is back off the hot seat and he's doing his thing. So, really awesome slate coming up this week. I can just do a quick look at that slate and just run it down for you. Rutgers, Michigan, great game. No, but J.J. McCarthy will be looking to bounce back, and Harbaugh's back, more importantly. Florida State, Clemson. I know it's not a ranked game. Florida State is a slight favorite. Colorado, Oregon, UCLA, Utah, Ole Miss, Alabama, Oregon State, Washington State, Texas, Baylor, I guess, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Iowa, Penn State. I mean, good stuff all around, I'm telling you. So, we're coming to the time where we're going to throw up the rankings right here. Boom. Hopefully I remember to slide a little bit. I'm sliding a bit more now, so hopefully we can see it here. But Clemson 25, Louisville 24, LSU 23, Wazoo 22, Iowa 21, Utah 20, Miami 19, Kansas 18, Alabama 17, crazy low, right? Duke 16, Colorado 15. They moved down a bit. UNC moved up against Minnesota, so 14 UNC, Oregon State 13, Ole Miss 12, OU 11, Notre Dame 10, Ohio State 9, USC 8, Oregon 7, Florida State 6, Texas 5, Penn State, big jump to 4. Washington, biggest jump to 3. They finally just showed what they went. They across the country and killed the team. I know a lot going on in Michigan State, but it's still a respectable institution. Michigan 2, Georgia 1, and then we'll do the playoff right here as well. Obviously the same as the top 6, but we've got Washington. Or what's it called? Washington sliding in against Michigan in the Rose Bowl, Georgia and Penn State in the Sugar Bowl, which would be awesome, and then Texas and Florida State on the outside looking in. So you look at the 12-team playoff right now, it would be a pretty cool thing. So we'd have, what would it be? I would think we have to flip Penn State in Texas just for semantics. And it would be Penn State against Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Florida State, Oregon, Notre Dame, and USC, Ohio State. Man, in the Coliseum out in Eugene, and it's crazy. So I'm trying to look at it now, right? So we got 1 Big Ten team, 2 Big Ten teams, 3 Big Ten teams right now, and we'll have 6 of the top 10 next year in the Big Ten. And if you actually look at the top 11, right, you add in Oklahoma, you'll have 10 out of the top 11 are in the SEC. No, 9 out of the top 11 are in the SEC or the Big Ten next year, which is crazy, right? So we're really getting to 2 conferences featuring a few extra ones. And, Florida State's trying to get out. Maybe they, by then, figure it out. Who knows? But that's kind of all I got for now. Bit of a crazy schedule this week because I'm going out of town this weekend. Got a big sailing event. But, I'll try to pre-record videos in advance. I'm going to have some crazy lines. I want to run record now. Then we'll probably end up recording, I would say probably Tuesday night or something, a lot of the previews and predictions. So I could be off on a few things, but it is what it is. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.